Right. So good afternoon, everyone, and good morning in Thailand. We have Nisha and Chip from Thailand to join us today. Unfortunately, we are having a technical problem with David, who normally would share a few stories before we begin our session. So as I said, technology is great when it works. And sometimes technology is just, can't say the word, but what's called, apologies my word, pen in the ash.
Maybe a nuisance. Maybe a nuisance is a good word when technology doesn't work.
Nuisance is too polite.
Oh.
Okay. So, and then it happens when you just click and you know how to click, and that's it. So that is what we all need to learn in our life, isn't it? We just need to know how to click, and that's how we are there. But normally what happens is that we do not know where to click, where to join, and that's how when things come, things happen, carried away until we realize, oh, I am so depressed, I can't sleep, I can't eat. Oh, goodness me, what's wrong? What happened? Okay, so that is the reason why we have to learn the skills. And that learning skills helps us to use the skills whenever we need it. In the moment, the perfect time, those skills become, I know how to solve this problem. Now, if we haven't trained, then we do not know. It's like even just coming on this Zoom. It was like a really hard moment when we first began to join this Zoom. There were so many troubles and afraid and fear. What's going to happen? Am I look good? Am I look beautiful? Or what's going, what people will judge me about it, and goes on. But as we join in, what happens? Becomes normal, and we feel comfortable. We feel comfortable with it. So that is how the training helps us to know how to join in, how to use the skills in our day-to-day life. The practice of a mindfulness meditation is something like that. That's why it is called skills for life. The more we practice, better we become in any skills. But if we do not practice, then what happens? We do not know. So the practice of a mindfulness meditation, that's what I always say, it's like training every single moment, every day, all the time. Now, the interesting thing is that this mindfulness practice is nothing more than understanding our feelings. Nothing more than that. Our feelings, how do I feel? And whole entire world is basically on the basis of our feelings. When we feel, we know that. And when we know it and we analyze it, we explain it, and then go on. And then further on, then we define it. I like it and I dislike it. If I dislike and that doesn't go away, then what happens? We feel frustrated. If we like it, we can't keep it. Again, we become frustrated. And not only keeping that frustration to ourselves, we want to share. We want to share by different ways. By physical action, just the walking, bang, bang, bang. The intention is want them to know that I am upset. right? Or speaking harshly like that. But very few people, when they share with the positive thoughts, positiveness, loving kindness, and compassion. How many times you notice you're sharing this caring and loving kindness, compassion to other people? And how many times, let's reflect yourself, that you're acting physical action or verbal speech, or even the thinking in a negative, that your intention is to let them know that you are upset, you are frustrated, and so on. Right? So that is what we need to recognize. And the moment when we recognize, and that moment is a mindfulness. So we become mindful of it, of that feelings, of that multiplying tendencies, and we able to stop there. And that is the moment we become mindful of ourselves. Okay? So this is how we practice. Knowing when to stop, knowing how to stop, or at least of a pause, so we can stand and look at it. So it's a technique, a skill. Right? So I share this to begin with. And I would like to invite Achan Chip from Thailand. He lives in Phitsanulok, Wat Wang Hin. He's planning to come over here to stay in our center to help us and teach us his wisdom. So today it's like a tester from him. So invite him to share his insights with us. Achan Chip.
Namaskar krab. Hello everyone. Okay, I will say again, my name is Jeep. Jeep, yes, like a car. Right. And now I am 25 years old and I have been ordained as monk for 6 years. And I have practiced insight meditation and even concentration meditation, right? And I found something is above the just stable of my something like that. Because when we meditating, we just focus on the goal, on some goals, like I want to be concentrated, I want to be focused, I want the peace of mind. But we try to force it, we try to force our mind, we try to command it. Just what what to say, just like our mind, like a child, little child. And if we want to attract that child or convince that child, we just convince them or that child with the thing he wants, like candy or toys, something like that. Not to command it, not to command them, but we mostly do it, that is commanding them. And whenever we force our mind, whenever we command our mind to be stable, to be peaceful, or to be concentrated, something like that, we will get tense, and we did not know it, that we got some tension, something like that. And we just like we have expectation too high expectation of meditation. And one day I found it that when we got high concentration that we wanted, then after that we want it again. We want it again, and then that time we suffer that without knowing that we are suffering. And I found that my mind that is like how to say sorry, I didn't speak English for years. And okay, and I found a method that to clear my mind. Just accept it, accept the state of our mind, and whenever we accepted it, whatever it is, just accept it, and we don't have to expect anything from meditation, and we don't have to force it. We don't have to command our mind, just like a child. If we want to convince the child, we cannot force them. We cannot force him. But if we want to convince the child, so we have to give him the thing he wants, the things he likes. So we just, and it's the nature of the child that I'd say to be naughty. It's the nature of the child, just like our mind. Our mind really naughty. To stuck with that emotion and then gone, and stuck with this emotion and then gone, and cannot be stable and cannot be focused of anything. It's the nature of our mind. We have to accept it and just saw it and just observe it. And at the time that we observe our mind with the without judging or without forcing anything, the time our mind will be relaxed, and then the concentration will increase without our expectation, without our intention. We cannot increase our concentration by force, but we can increase our concentration and wisdom just by observing it and let it be. But we have to observe it, not to let it go easily or just ignore it. No, we have to care for it, but no need to force it. At the time we will let it naturally, and we will see the nature of our mind, and we will understand our nature of our mind, because our goal for meditation is not concentration, but concentration is just the tool for gain wisdom, and wisdom can get rid of our defilement, and wisdom can get rid of our waste in our mind. We cannot get rid of it with concentration. Concentration is just temporary. I don't know what to say, but it just stop our anger, stop our lust, stop our delusion just for some time. It's just temporary, but it's not permanent. But if we want to get rid of it, we have to gain wisdom. And to gain wisdom, just what I said, just observing it, observing our mind. But just observe our mind. It cannot see it clearly. So we have to gain our concentration as well. But we cannot force our mind. That's just what I have learned. ครับอาจารย์ I don't know that you understand or not.
Yes, thank you very much for explaining. Our mind is like a child that we cannot force. We have to tenderly look at it, look after this mind, yeah, and by forcing to control it would not help us to free from all the defilements. So we have to learn, and then gradually we have to free it. So thank you. And now you can lead us a meditation. Guide us. Guide practice.
Okay, maybe not too long, อาจารย์ but
Yeah, go ahead. Not more. That's the about 15 minutes, and then we'll have a discussion. So we will have a lot of questions that you have to answer later.
really
Just frightening you at the moment, warning you.
okay อาจารย์
Okay. Guide us.
Okay.
Yeah. Guided meditation.
Okay, maybe I will say it but as informal conversation. I just want you to recognize your sensation of some area of your body. Okay, everyone, just try to close your eyes, and if it's possible, I want all of you to put your hands on both of your knees. And keep relaxing for your breath. Do not focus on your breath too much. Just let it be. Right now, try to focus on your sensation of your left hand. Your left hand. Observe your left hand. Only your left hand. Is there any sensation that contact your left hand? The heat or the cold or the air that you can feel by your left hand. Try to recognize into your left hand, inside your left hand. Without moving. Try to recognize the tip of your fingers on your left hand. Recognize the sensation on the tip of your finger of your left hand. For now, try to move your sensation to your right hand. Your right hand. Observe the sensation of your right hand. Slowly moving your sensation to the tip of the finger of your right hand. The tip of fingers of your right hand. Try to moving your sensation to your back of the body, to your back. Observe the sensation of your back. The clothes that touch your back. Slowly moving your sensation to the back of your neck. The back of your neck. Is there anything that you can send from the back of your neck? Whatever it be, the hair or the air, just feel it. Slowly moving your sensation to your head, to your head. Observe the sensation of your head. Slowly move your sensation to your forehead. Your forehead. Observe the sensation of your forehead. Slowly moving your sensation to your nose, to your nose. Try to recognize your sensation of the tip of your nose, the tip of your nose. Observe the nature of your breath, whether it's long or it's short. Just let it be as nature. No need to force it. No need to control it. Observe the nature of your breath. Slowly open your eyes. Okay. Okay, ขอบใจครับ Okay. Okay. Question time. Everyone. Is there any questions? Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much, Jeep. That was good. When on the left hand, I could feel the
Yes.
beating heart on the knee. On the right hand, because it's too
Yeah.
cold, fingers numb with
Yeah.
the cold. On the back, it was tingling up to the neck. On the neck, you could feel cold air, maybe because of the hairs on the neck. The breathing, it make you start to do it yourself, and then when you said relax, I stopped. But very good. Thank you.
Yes. Have you ever done this before?
Yes, but I never felt the beating heart in my knee before. You could feel the pulse. I've never ever. It's the first time for this experience with the beating heart in the knee.
Yes. Okay. Everyone may have different feeling, different reaction. Somebody feel the cold. Somebody feel the heavy weight. The weight that is gaining for some area that he focused on it, and some feel like it's lightened. It's lighter than before. Somebody feel like electricity. Something like that. But if you can observe, or you can sense any of that, so that means your mind have the basic concentration. That's good.
Thank you so much. I mean, I have a blanket, so I hope that's okay.
Yes. Okay. Dhamma Sakya, do you have any question?
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. This is a question either yourself or Susan Bhante can answer, or both of you can answer. This is the question I have been thinking, not about today's meditation. This is the question I have been thinking for some time now. But 2 weeks ago, I tell you the background, it's about the Maranasati Bhavana, death meditation. 2 weeks ago, Monday, I went to see an English Buddhist monk, Susan Bante know him, in the nursing home. I was expecting him to sitting in the chair like before. Instead, I was shocked to see him lying immobile in the bed. When I spoke to him, I was not even sure if he knows me. So looking at him, I stayed there for 45 minutes, contemplating on aging, sickness, and death. And on the same day, I got the news that one of our family friends in UK had passed away. So in the evening, I decided to do the Maranasati Bhavana, listening to Ajahn Brahmali in YouTube. He told us, imagine yourself in a room, lying in the bed with white linen, white walls and ceilings with no windows or door. He did say, if you are frightened, feels uncomfortable, to stop it. Initially, I got little frightened, but I continued. But after some time, instead of imagining myself lying in a room, I switched on, imagining myself lying in a space in a rubble in the earthquake, because that way every day we are hearing the news about the earthquake in the Turkey and Syria. As I said, initially I was a little frightened, but I continued and I felt peaceful at the end. So my question is it right thing to do to practice Maranasati Bhavana? If it is, how often do you recommend it? Thank you.
Pardon, I cannot hear it clearly. The question.
Or you couldn't hear it?
Yes,
well,
it's not so clear. First company.
Maybe I'll just say a question. Can you hear me now?
Yes, but not
Yeah?
Continuously. Yeah.
Oh, no, okay.
But I can
Sorry,
hear.
maybe my internet is not that good. No, I just wanted to ask you regarding death meditation, Maranasati Bhavana. Is it something you recommend us to practice? Or if it is something you recommend us to practice, how often should we practice it?
Okay. I recommend you to practice Maranasati because I think everyone should practice it because we don't know. Sorry. Can I ask you about your age? How old are you?
I'm young. I'm very young. I'm 80.
Pardon?
But I still feel young.
Okay. Suppose there is the man that he is about 50 years old, right? And now maybe 52, and I am 25 years old. And do you know who will die? Who will die first?
We don't.
Yes, we don't know whether he is older or I am younger. We don't know who will die first. And so this is why I recommend you to practice Maranasati. If you practice it and you feel like, oh, it's okay for you, so you can continue practicing it. And if too frightened or so scared of it, so you have to check yourself again that you are suitable with this path or not. And to practice pranasati, you I did not hear you correctly, so I'm not sure about how you practice, but you can practice it whenever you want, like in your daily life. So you don't need to see the picture of someone who dies, or the dead body picture or something like that, but you just think of yourself that, oh, this is the body, and it's easy to be destroyed, and we can die anytime and anywhere. We cannot know when we will die. So just think like this, and you can combine with anapanasati as well. When you think, when you recognize or you recall the marananusati, so that time you can care for your breath. So you can try to recognize your breath, and then you just continue anapanasati as well. And you have to make it in your habit that try to think about death every time. And but not to think too much, like, oh, I am crossing the road, oh, maybe the car will crash me in my few steps. Not that much. Okay, just set your mind that if I die here and now, so is there anything in my mind that we worry about? And after you observe it, and if there anything that you worry about it, so you can observe your mind that, oh, I'm about to dead. Now I am at this age, and maybe I will die. So I can let this emotion go and let it go. Let that thing that makes you worry about it. And I can give you some tips, like you try to think and about the time that you will die. Like, okay, I will die in 1 year. Try to think like that. I will die in 1 year. So is there anything that comes to your mind? And then shorten the time. I will die in 6 months. Is there anything come to your mind? And think it again. Close your eye and think, I will die in 1 month. Is there any worries? Something like that come to your mind. I will die in 1 week, in 7 days. And then observe your mind that, is there any fear in your mind, in your heart? And the thing, what is the thing that come to your mind? And if that thing that you have to solve it, so you can do it right here and right now to make your mind clear, and do not worry about it. Like, oh, I have a son, and I don't know I will die soon or not. So, and when I think that I will die in 7 days, so, oh, I have some property, so make the will to your son. Something like that. This is the method to another method to clear your mind as well, and it's good for your son or your daughter. I don't know. and finally, I will die in one day. This is the last day of my life. So only one day, you cannot do anything. The thing that will come to your mind is only state of your mind. So the thing like will, like heritage or property, so you cannot manage it. You cannot manage it in one day. So you have to observe your mind and let all of the emotions or negative emotions go. And yeah, that is the way I manage my mind and observe my mind when I do Parananusati, something like that. I'm not sure that you can understand my language or not.
No, Bhante, it's okay. I understand. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
So in relation to that, if we recall the Buddha's instruction, the story comes that when Buddha asked the Venerable Ananda, how many times do you reflect on a death? And then half a day, Ananda said. And then the Buddha said, no, you have to reflect every breath. So it's a practice. And there is a recent history in Myanmar. There are two very famous meditation masters. They passed away. One called Sun Lung Sayadaw, who was a farmer. And while he was resting in the afternoon, having a drink, or I think, if I remember correctly, having a drink or a food, he suddenly, what is this life about? It's going to die soon. So he reflected on the death. And before he became a monk, he attained higher stages of his mind. And later he became a monk and become a meditation teacher.
Mm.
And there was another monk who was also very famous in Myanmar. His name was Tiengu Sayadaw. Tiengu Sayadaw. He was a robber. He was
like
a thief.
Angulimala.
Yeah, like Angulimala. He was a thief, a robber. And it happened that in one occasion, he experienced almost death while he was on the business. And that changed his mind. And ever since, he contemplated on a death, and then somehow he came across with the Shunlung Sayadaw, and he learned the death, that death can happen at any moment. So, and then he practiced this reflecting on a death every single day, along with the breath. And now his technique is quite physically demanding. Each breath he's taking quite like seriously, and then each breath that stops, that means he's going to die. So with that, he developed such a great mindfulness. That mindfulness helped him to gain even a deeper knowledge. So able to see a rising and a vanishing of his mental states, and how one person is craving to receive something and crave to be alive, crave to extending their lives. And that's all because of this tanha, craving. And he was able to see that mental state of this crave to be. And that's how he managed to stop from there. And that again all began with contemplating on the breath, on the death. Right? And the same thing, if we look at on the Buddha's discourses, like the famous discourse called Arya Pariyesana Sutta, the Noble Search, the discourse called the Noble Search, or in the same sutta also known as the Pasarasi Sutta, also said that people, because of not knowing, continue search for the rebirth, and as a result of that, gain the old age, sickness, and death. So continue going into that circle and continue accumulate wealth and satisfied with the families and happy with the possessions and continue with that. Whereas that's not the noble search, and that's simply increasing a number of deaths and again. Whereas a noble search, basically a person who has seen that these are the danger. It doesn't matter how much do we have, eventually we have to leave behind and carry on. So as a bodhisattva, before his enlightenment, he able to saw that the danger of that search for the continuation. So that's how he stopped. And that stopping helped him to attain this called enlightenment. So it's important part of the Buddhist practice that one has to reflect death all the time. So every moment, all the time, and that actually helps one to be living in not living with the heedlessness, negligence. One will be living mindfully in everyday life. Okay. So wonderful. Thank you.
I just forgot. It lasted the talk, the meditation by Ajahn Brahmali. Do you know him? Ajahn Brahmali?
Yes, I know him.
Yeah, he trained in Amravati and Chithurst, and he's in Australia now. It lasted half an hour. I was just wondering, during the retreats, long retreats, is it practiced? Actual meditation itself?
Oh, on the retreats, the first day, we are reminded that to be mindful of.
Yeah.
On the first day, when the
Ajahn
retreats
Brahmali went into quite a detail for half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just recollecting, actually dying and what is going to happen step by step. It was quite intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
yes.
Thank you, Bante. Anyway. Thank you, Bante Jeep. Ajahn Jeep. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody has got anything to ask? Otherwise, we'll practice a loving kindness meditation to finish off.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bante. No.
Ajahn Chip, guide us loving kindness meditation for 5 minutes.
เดี๋ยวเป็นอาจารย์สุชนนำดีกว่าครับ
All right then. Okay.
ภาษาอังกฤษอันนี้ไม่ค่อยคล่องครับ
All right. Okay. So we'll practice loving kindness meditation. So relax yourself. Sit in a comfortable position. Take a few long breaths. And reflect a few moments on today's practice. What have you achieved? What you are going to take with you? And how are you going to continue your practice? I will practice the loving kindness meditation. So bring your attention to be mindful of your body. Whatever sensations around in your body, be mindful of it. And bring that attention to your hands. So let your hands are as it is. Do not move, but just feel the sensations around your hands. And bring that attention to your heart. Feel the connection with your heart. And if you can't feel the connection with your heart, physically smiling will connect you. So physically smiling and feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself, you may recite sentences simply to connect with yourself, reciting in your head, I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. I am well, I am happy, I am at peace. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from the dear one, or any particular person that you think they really need at this time. Bring into your mind and sharing this goodwill and kindness. Whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings, may they be well and happy. Extending our goodwill for their well-being and happiness. May they be free from suffering, free from hurtfulness and hatred. May they be liberated. May all beings be happy. Once again, bring your attention back to your hands. Feel the sensations in your hands. And to your body. And to your eyes. And with your intention, slowly come out from meditation and relax. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you very much, Achan Chip, for coming and helping and teaching. sharing your knowledge. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Hopefully we'll see you next month again. This is the information, and on the 16th of April, we're going to have a New Year celebration here at the center. And also on the 20th of May, Interfaith Mindful Day. And 28th, we are going to have a groundbreaking ceremony at the center too. Okay, so this is the information. With this, wish you all the best. May you all be well and happy. May all your good wishes come true.